I've put together this NordVPN review and tutorial with a clear goal. I want to show you exactly what it's like to use this VPN app, both the good and sometimes the annoying parts. I'm going to go through everything from picking a plan to learning how to use NordVPN features and help you figure out which plan makes sense if you decide to go for it. First up, to follow along in this NordVPN tutorial, well, you'll need a subscription. Here, keep in mind that NordVPN, like most of their competition, tends to hide the best deals under coupon codes, but you can easily check out their latest discount through this QR code or just hit up the link in the description below. If you're confused about the plans, I'm going to break them down for you at the end. You really need to see the app in action to understand which subscription to pick. So you'll get the newest version of the app right from the NordVPN website. Now, this is super important for Android users since the Google Play version has annoying limitations, especially on ad blocking. The installation itself takes like a minute. I remember it was a little bit annoying to deal with the permissions at first, but it's pretty much smooth sailing after that. I have the app on Windows here, but the Mac version looks almost the same, just missing a couple of features that I'll mention as I go through it. Mobile apps are similar too, with a slightly different layout. Honestly, the main thing you'll use is the Secure My Connection button. One tap and it connects you to the fastest nearby server, but you can also pick a specific location either from the list or through the search bar. Once a VPN is active, it masks your true location by hiding your IP address and encrypts all of your data. So in plain English, to any outside snoopers, be it your ISP or someone on sketchy cafe Wi-Fi, it looks like you're constantly smashing your head into the keyboard. Even NordVPN themselves can't actually see what you're browsing due to a strict no-logs policy. And yes, every single VPN claims this, but NordVPN is actually backing this up with annual audits performed by independent security experts and servers that were designed to wipe all data on every reboot. Now let's move right to my favorite feature of NordVPN, Threat Protection Pro. You can find it in the Home tab or here on the side through this shield icon. It will require a quick setup, so this is the second place you'll have to deal with some annoying permissions. I mainly use this as my main ad and tracker blocker. It's running on my phone whenever I'm testing something else, mostly because it doesn't even require a VPN connection, something that's really uncommon to see from a VPN provider. But that is not all. This tool also checks websites for signs of malicious activity or various scams, including crypto wallet ones. This actually got them officially certified by AV Comparatives as a reliable anti-phishing tool. Also, there's sort of a parental control option to block adult sites, but it's really easy to turn off, so I wouldn't call this a super reliable tool. To me, the most impressive thing about threat protection is the real-time malware scanning for downloads. I especially rely on this when torrenting or just downloading a file from a source I don't fully trust, just to be sure that what I'm getting is actually safe. The only drawback is that this capability is for Windows and Mac devices only. Also, a new feature I noticed while preparing for this NordVPN review is Scam Call Protection. If you have an Android phone and you're from the US, UK, or Canada, you can enable it to get alerts on potential scam calls before you even pick up. Another feature I recommend setting up is the kill switch, which has its own separate section in settings. It's basically a safe net if the VPN connection ever drops, in which case the kill switch will cut off access to the internet on your device, protecting your IP and data from being exposed. It is great if you have an unstable connection. Next up, let's talk about Dark Web Monitor, which is under the circle-ish thing icon on the side. This is another feature that does a lot of heavy lifting in the background. Once you turn it on, it keeps track of ongoing data breaches, so if any of your email addresses or passwords ever show up in a leaked database, you'll get an alert and be able to take action before any damage is done. Now, if you want access to content from other regions, you have over 170 locations to choose from, scattered all across the globe. So you can virtually place yourself pretty much anywhere, down to a specific city. I also own a reverse this when traveling to access my streaming services, news sites, or banking stuff as if I was right back home. Since I mentioned streaming, I feel like you should know about Smart Play. It's designed to get through to major streaming platforms. You won't find a specific toggle or anything in the app, it's built in underneath the surface to make streaming access much smoother. 95% of the time it works without any hiccups. The other 5% of the time I mostly just have to switch a server or clear my browser cache, and then I can watch whatever the hell I want in peace again. Another important part of this is the connection quality. Most VPNs these days run on WireGuard, which provides minimal speed reduction and a stable connection. NordVPN, however, uses something called NordLynx, which is their own custom protocol built on WireGuard technology. So if WireGuard is fast, NordLynx is faster. To be fair, not by that much. I literally can't tell the difference between Nord and WireGuard based VPNs when just browsing or streaming, but it does constantly come out on top whenever I run a speed test. I generally see that it retains around 90% of my original speed. A bit less if I connect to a server that's on the other side of the world, but you know, physics. While we're here in the protocol section, which you'll find in the VPN settings of the NordVPN app, you'll also see NordWhisper protocol. This one is a new addition made to bypass VPN restrictions. So if you're using a network with restrictions, or if you're dealing with stuff like the UK age verification nonsense or a VPN ban, this will disguise your VPN traffic, making it much harder to detect and block. A quick note, if you decide to try out NordVPN, there's a link in the description that has a much better deal than what you'd get with the regular NordVPN pricing from their website. You know, just throwing that out there for you. Now, there's a bit more to explore in a proper review of NordVPN. So let's talk about some features that you might not use every day, but they are nice to have when you need them. First up, Meshnet, which is under this connected circles icon that I've skipped before. I am not gonna lie, this tool is a bit of a pain in the ass to set up, but then it lets you create an encrypted connection between your own device, or even with your friend's device, no matter where you are in the world. So you can grab a file from your home PC while you're away, or set up a remote LAN session with friends. NordVPN was actually going to get rid of this feature, but the community pushed back so hard, well, they've kept it. And they're also planning to open source it, which is a really nice touch. Now, if we move to settings, Windows and Android users will find split tunneling in there. This lets you pick which apps go through the VPN and which ones don't. Useful if you want your browser on a VPN but need a local connection for your Steam account or something else. Moving on, I also want to mention the specialty servers, which are in the home page near the regular country list. The Double VPN and Onion VPN ones are mostly for enhanced anonymity that most of us regular folk don't really need. But it's great if you're a journalist or an activist or live in North Korea. The ones I personally use are the P2P servers. These are for torrenting, to just provide better speeds and better privacy for your ISP. What's nice is that NordVPN auto-detects P2P traffic and puts me straight onto these servers. Oh, and if you do torrent a lot, you might want to know that NordVPN also provides a free SOCKS 5 proxy, which might give you better speeds, but not as much privacy. That just about covers everything you need to know about how to use NordVPN. But as I mentioned before, NordVPN has a few different plans to choose from that can impact what you'll see in your app. All of them, from basic to top tier ones, obviously include all the base VPN benefits: servers, protocols, settings, and 10 simultaneous connections. This means that you can easily share this VPN with friends and family to split the price with your friends. You can save a lot of money this way, especially if you pair that with a discount code. Now, there are two main differences between the plans. One, NordVPN basic plan does not include threat protection, which is honestly one of the strongest features in this app. If you already have a solid antivirus and a proper ad blocker, you can forego this feature, but otherwise, I highly recommend getting a plan with it included. The second difference is that higher tier plans come with additional apps. For example, you can get NordVPN with NordPass Password Manager in a much cheaper bundle than it would cost to get them separately. Of course, which plan you pick is completely up to you, just weigh what kind of tools you need. Personally, I went with the Plus plan. I just can't pass up threat protection, and NordPass is my main password vault whenever I'm not testing a different app. Overall, NordVPN is truly not complicated to use. It might just seem a bit overwhelming at the start, but as long as you know how to connect to a server, you've mastered like 80% of the app. I hope I've shed some light on the remainder of this app too, and if anything is unclear, feel free to ask about it in the comments. And if you want to try out NordVPN yourself, check the description for a special discount. Cheers.